What's cracking, yo? Welcome back to Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today. The Denver Nuggets sweep the Los Angeles Lakers in Game 4, 113-111, and what was a pretty good game, to be honest with you. Big congratulations to the Denver Nuggets franchise, the state of Colorado, on your first finals berth in the history of the league, if I'm not mistaken. And this is coming from a lifelong Laker fan. Forgive me if I'm mistaken, but I think that's the case. But coming from a lifelong Laker fan, big congratulations. You guys were the better team. And it's as simple as that. And while this was a sweep, it wasn't a demonstrative sweep. It wasn't, blowout after blowout after blowout. A lot of these games were close, and honestly, it could have went either way in some of those games. A couple plays would have been different, but at the end of the day, the Denver Nuggets were the better team, and when it came down to the final moments of the game, they were clearly more disciplined and executed better on a consistent basis. The Lakers could not execute well to the level that the Denver Nuggets were able to. So a lot of times that's what it comes down to, late game execution, and the Denver Nuggets were clearly better at it, and the coaching staff made the better adjustments as well, to be honest with you. Neither team went deep into their bench. This game specifically, honestly, the Nuggets only played two bench players. Jeff Green only played 10 minutes. He didn't do much of anything. Bruce Brown played 20 minutes, had 6 points, but the starters did get the bulk of the minutes for the Denver Nuggets. And the same can be said for the Los Angeles Lakers, who really actually went deeper into their bench than the Denver Nuggets did, with Tristan Thompson, D'Lo coming off the bench this game, and Lonnie Walker. Now, in my opinion, once Tristan Thompson is getting at least 10 minutes in the game, I feel like you have hit the panic button. I feel like that panic button was pressed. And I heard a lot of Laker fans that were hoping that Mo Bamba would get activated, after his injury, but no Mo Bamba sighting today. Laker fans were looking, and this is a Laker fan speaking, I wasn't one of them, but Laker fans, delusional Laker fans, and hopeful Laker fans, I guess, were looking to Mo Bamba as the X factor and the difference maker in the series should he return. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. But one thing I didn't say on the channel, but one thing that I was saying, amongst my friends, my peers, in my circles, is that the Aaron Gordon game hasn't happened yet. I wish I would have said it on the channel so that I would have been looked at like, dude, this guy is on it. He called the Aaron Gordon game. I didn't say it on the channel, so I have no proof. But one thing I was saying, I was like, y'all, the Aaron Gordon game hasn't even happened yet. Because I was saying, one game in this series, they are going to feel Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon has played well. A lot of what he's been doing hasn't showed up in the box score. But I said, there's going to be a box score, an impactful game that you're going to feel from Aaron Gordon. And it was Game 4. Aaron Gordon, 9 for 14 from the field, 3 for 5 from three-point land. Lakers were leaving him open on at least one or two of those three-pointers, just looking at him. 22 points, 6 big rebounds, 5 big assists, and 2 big blocks. He played phenomenally. He was the X factor in this game, and I hope they give the game ball to Aaron Gordon. And much of what we've seen for the entire series, you know what you're getting from Michael Porter Jr., like I said. I said you're going to get 15 to 20-something points. You're going to get, at least 10 rebounds, 7 to 10 rebounds per game from Porter. Delivered consistency. We know what you're going to get from Joker. 30 points, 14 rebounds, 13 assists, 3 big blocks, and pivotal, clutch, impactful plays by Nikola Jokic, especially in that fourth quarter. Jamal Murray, you know what you're going to get from him. Like I said, 25 points, 10 for 18 shooting. Missed on all of his free throw or three-point attempts, but he was aggressive like we've seen Jamal Murray be all playoffs long. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope showed up like he usually did, 13 big points. The Denver Nuggets have the more reliable and consistent players, and this is what I said in my last video. All right, and then going down to the Lakers, Anthony Davis, like I said before, you don't know what you're going to get from Anthony Davis. A piss poor version, a mediocre version, or a great version. And honestly, he's He gave you 21 points, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks. A lot of people say, well, that's good, right? That's mediocre. No. If you watch the game, I don't care about the 21 points and 14 rebounds, especially knowing what Anthony Davis is capable of. But AD was a non-factor for the majority of that game. His presence was not felt. He was lethargic, like we've seen him be most of his career. Non-assertive, meek, shy, coy, unaggressive. I don't know how many words I can use to describe Anthony Davis. But that was him. Again. Give a damn about the 14 rebounds, 21 points. I can't tell you. He got more rebounds than Nikola Jokic. Oh, no, they had the same number of rebounds. They each had 14 rebounds. But I felt all of Nikola Jokic's rebounds. Every time Joker got that rebound, he started pushing the ball, running the fast break up the court. You know, he'd get it and pass it to the point guard, but there are times he'd catch it and just start running the offense. Fast break, 7-footer. I told my friend, I was like, hey, have you ever seen a big tub of fat out rebound the Lakers and then outrun them on the fast break every possession? I ain't calling Joker fat, but you get what I mean. Compared to the bodies of the other NBA players, they look at Nikola Jokic and they look at Luka Doncic as fat boys that are dominated. Pudgy boys. Shout out to the Pudgy gang. I'm right there with you. But anyway, yeah. So, like I said, Anthony Davis wasn't felt. Rui Hachimura, now one thing I said about Rui is that he's been consistent for quite some time now, but not so much today. 3 for 12 from the field, missed all his 3-point shots. Tried to stick it in defensively as best as he could, but ended up with 10.7 rebounds. All right, I'm gonna save LeBron for last. Schroeder, dude, Schroeder's jump shot is so ugly. I don't even see how some of his shots been going in. But Schroeder was there, 13 points, 3 for 6 from 3-point land. Austin Reeves, about what you're going to get from A. Reeves, 17 points. The playmaking wasn't there from him as much. That probably has something to do with LeBron James being much more assertive, which I expected LeBron James to do. D'Lo, they benched him, non-factor. Lonnie Walker, non-factor. Tristan Thompson, non-factor. And then we get to LeBron James. Now, I knew LeBron James was going to do this. I didn't say this, but I've said it in times before. When the team's back is against the wall, you're going to see LeBron James assert himself more to the best of his ability. LeBron James had a all-time first half. 31 points, something like that. Bunch of rebounds, bunch of assists. Was on fire from the field, barely missed a shot, hitting his threes, all that stuff. LeBron James exerted himself in that. Asserted and exerted himself in that first half. All right? And the Lakers had a nice lead, but they came out in the second half lethargic, not with the same energy. The Denver Nuggets made adjustments offensively and defensively, dialed up their game, and the Lakers didn't. And overall, LeBron James did most of his damage in the first half, but he still ended up with 40 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, damn near triple-double, 2 steals, and some moments there of great defensive pressure, one-on-one defense, especially against Jamal Murray there. All right, he shot 15 for 25 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3-point land. Yes, when it came down to the most pivotal moments of the game, with the seconds winding down, yes, LeBron James had the ball in his hand with a chance to either take the lead with a 3-point shot or tie the game with a 2-point field goal. He took the ball to the basket. Help defense came from Jamal Murray, got his hand on the ball, made LeBron James power through Jamal Murray's hand to avoid a jump ball situation. Ended up getting a shot up at the rim, and then Aaron Gordon blocked it or deflected the ball in the shot attempt. And at that point, they were just scrambling for the rebound, trying to get up another shot before the game clock expired. But it was a great defensive effort right there on LeBron James in those final seconds. And I'm not mad at LeBron James for missing that game-winning shot. You know, a lot of people are going to say, is that clutch, is that clutch, is that clutch? But LeBron James he can't win, right? You know, so many times we see LeBron James settle for the jump shot and clank it, and they say, well, he's the bigger guy. He should have just took it to the basket. He should have asserted his willpower. You know, no one can stop LeBron James when he goes to the rim. And then he goes to the rim, and he still doesn't deliver, and now they're like, why'd you do that? You should have just took the open shot. You should have took the 3. Players, not just LeBron James, but a lot of players in his situation, unless you hit the shot, you're going to get scrutinized for what you didn't do or what you should have did. So the only way to get away from that is to hit the bucket, whether it's a jump shot or driving to the basket. Sure, if there's a clear mismatch, it's like just go to the rim. I agree, take it to the hole. But he had Aaron Gordon on him as primary defender, not necessarily a mismatch, and they brung the double over like they should have and contested the shot. So be it. The only way I would have scrutinized LeBron James in that situation if he had like Jamal Murray on him as the primary defender and he decided not to take it to the rim, especially if there wasn't no help defense lurking, obvious help defense lurking. But other than that, man, outside of hitting a shot, you're gonna get scrutinized. So that's just the situation LeBron and other players of his caliber are in a lot of the times, especially LeBron. You know. So, but I ain't mad at him, man. I under any circumstance, honestly, I'd rather LeBron James just go to the hole, try to get the layup or whatever the case may be, and then if you get fouled, step up and hit the free throws. But 100% of the time, I think I want LeBron James going to the rim instead of shooting jump shots because now you could talk about his field goal percentage, but when you break down his field goal percentage, he is not a great mid-range shooter. He is not a great three-point shooter. Break it down however you want to. Most of his effective field goal percentage, most of his high percentage shots come from inside the paint. That's how I break down his overall field goal percentage. Anyway, and then before that, he had an opportunity for a clutch basket with a couple seconds left on the clock, and he shot like a running, drifting, one-legger, fading something or another, and it hit like the corner of the top of the backboard or something like that. It was the play. Ham ran out of the timeout, basically. I think it was the possession before that. But anyway, LeBron James, all things considered, the guy played phenomenally. Yeah, most of his damage was in the first half, but at the end of the day, he played. He had a really good game and did what he could to lead the team. And the game was close. They had opportunities to win and just fell short. Had Anthony Davis maybe stepped up a little bit, or some of these other players, hit a shot or two, the results are different. But it is what it is. I'm not. It is what it is. The Nuggets were the better team. No excuses. From game 1 to game 4, they showed they were more disciplined. They showed that they had more reliable players. They showed that they had the best two players on the floor at all times in Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. And they showed that they can execute better in key moments of the game. And that has been a model of consistency for the whole series. No excuses. The better team won. The Denver Nuggets have been the better team all season long, and the Denver Nuggets have been the better team in the playoffs. Point blank, period. And going into this series, I didn't think the Denver Nuggets were going to have a problem with the Lakers so much offensively. They just came off a series where they had to deal with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker being volcanic, blistering hot for the majority of that series. And they were able to survive that onslaught of abnormal efficiency, high volume efficiency from those two scoring maniacs. So after that, I saw them survive that. I'm like, shit, they just have to deal with KD and Booker, like on some next level shooting performances. I mean, like, shoot, man. I don't think they're going to have any problems with the Lakers' offense. If anything, it's going to be defensively dealing with the Lakers, in which they didn't have to deal with any type of significant defense in that Phoenix Suns series. So it is what it is. Like I said, a lot of those games were close. It was a good series. It was a good sweep series, actually. Like I said, it was a sweep, but a lot of those games were entertaining, to be honest with you. It was good basketball. So, man, again, shout out to the Denver Nuggets. At this point, assuming the Miami Heat finish off the Boston Celtics at some point, I haven't really sat down and thought about who I think is going to win that series, but I probably have to give the nod to Denver in 6 or 7, but I have to sit down and think about it. But hey, man, the Nuggets executed. The Lakers did not. They were a better team. Had the ball moves better with the Denver Nuggets. the ball doesn't stick to any one player consistently. And they were a better, well-oiled machine. And congratulations to that team and their leaders, Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, for leading that team into the finals. And the Lakers are going to have to do some soul searching. They're going to make some roster adjustments. And they're going to see how they want to plug and play the rest of their pieces in the offseason and moving into next season. But they definitely have some things to figure out. And LeBron James isn't getting any younger. It's going to be older, a year older, going into the next season. So there has to be less and less stress and responsibility put on LeBron James. In moments, he can look like a prime version of himself, but he cannot sustain that level of play for the duration of a game. That's just a reality situation. So if they're going to continue to build around LeBron James, they're going to have to make some adjustments. I'm not saying big roster adjustments, some small tweaks here and there, and find a better system where you can consistently lighten the load for LeBron, so he doesn't have to do as much. But that's also going to be on LeBron James. Is he willing to do that for the duration of a season? At times, this guy is so enamored with his numbers that he doesn't like doing that. Because there were times where they were like, "Hey, LeBron, let's cut down on your minutes and, try to keep you at something close to peak level, something that's sustainable for the long haul of a season." They wanted to cut his minutes, and LeBron James was like, "No, I'd rather keep my minutes the same and just load manage and take games off, because I don't want my averages and numbers to get to hurt from the minute deduction." So he opts for missing games instead of less minutes. This has been proposed to him even back in the Cavaliers days. And he decided to go with the games off for load management instead of the minutes restriction. So that's his decision. Anywho, like, comment, subscribe. That's all I got to say about it. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for watching. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. We out, baby.